Hello there. Welcome to Leadership Platform. Leadership Platform features personalities of note to share their experience and impart the viewing public. Today, I am very much privileged to have as my guest a very distinguished personality. He is somebody that holds a doctorate degree in health administration, currently working with the Massachusetts State Department of Health and Human Services. He is the chairman of board of delegates of MBC USA, a man that has distinguished himself in every calling in life, was a past president of Umon MBC Association Boston. He is currently board of trustees, chairman of Isiala Ovoro MBC Elites. He has distinguished himself in so many sectors. He's been chairman of a convention planning committee and one of the most successful so far in MBC history, MBC USA history. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Chief Dr. Charles Uzoma Iwejuo. It's my pleasure to welcome you, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I just touched a bit of your resume, but nobody can talk about you the way you present yourself. Who actually is Dr. Charles Iwejuo, his personality, his relationship with people and the community?
Thank you, my good friend, Ambassador Cliff Ayozie. First of all, I want to thank your team, the PR team of MBC USA, for the good job you're doing, at least to project what is going on in MBC USA. We have never had it before. The ingenuity of this team has actually shown the world what we do. So, like you said, it's a pleasure being in this interview. You already said my name. Dr. Charles Iwejuo is my name. I come from Ovoro, Mbise, in Abon Mbise local government area of Imo State. I've been in this country for close to 26 years, and it has been a struggle. I came in here with a family of four, three boys, and my girl. My wife, Bernice Iwejuo, one of the best ladies you can ever talk about, Mbise has produced. I became the president of Women Mbise really, way back 2012. That was when I served. And because of the way I brought up that organization, we were given, after that, we were given a convention, which I was the chairman of the local planning committee. So after that job, that was when I was spotted as somebody who could be a good leader, in this particular awesome organization the same people have. After that, then I was taken to the national. And at the national level, they have been using me to accomplish so many other things, that actually we need. Apart from the you just mentioned, serving in various committees, I've been a deputy board chair for 4 years. These 4 years was 4 years of hard work with a team. Sir SOH Central and Sir Wilson Iwu. I was the deputy for Wilson Iwu. The administration did a lot, and I know the role I played in stabilizing the organization as a deputy board chair. And I served at various committees, headed 2 major committees, ethics committee and the works committee. And this period, we did a lot to see that our organization actually moved from the stage it was to the next stage. So as of last year, I found myself elected as the chairman of board of delegates.
Well, I'd like to say congratulations once again for the good job you're doing, because it's not easy when you put a round peg in a round hole. The result is quite evident. Now, let's look at it. I just look at your resume and it's quite inspiring. You've plotted and remained very focused in life. But these days, our younger generation appear not to be patient, not to be very painstaking, taking the right steps, embracing education to be the best of what they could be, essentially operating on this millennial level these days. And I don't know if it's of concern to you. What would you say to them?
I am lucky to have come from this part of Nigeria, the eastern part of Nigeria, called Mbise. Mbise people as a group, they are mostly identified with education, and some of us. I understand that for you to be successful in this country, when you come into this country, one of the things you have to pursue is to get educated because you are competing with people who have so many advantages over you in anything at all because this is their country and we came in, as sojourners to find a living here and find a way of helping our people. Um, it was a tough thing for me having to raise my children, four of them, and attending school as well. Coming into America with a degree from Nigeria, you start all over here. I did my master's degree at Framingham State College while I was still working. Then I went and did my PhD. Let me tell you, it's a pleasure, you know, seeing yourself going through this and the younger generation are finding it difficult to take the steps you have taken. This is all about the country we are living in. The country has so made it that children think that they want to go the easier way, but I tell them that is wrong. Today, my children will always tell me, Dad, how did you do that? I say, because of my resilience. Once you have a goal you want to achieve, you will definitely achieve that without obstacles, even though you're going to meet obstacles on the way. But once you have a goal and you know why you're here, definitely you have to achieve that. So I encourage our youths, the youths of this organization, that education is the key to success in America. Because once you have education as a kid in America, you are born here, you can be the president of this country. You can be the speaker of this country. You can be the senate president. You can be anything, a millionaire. It is doable. But the basis of that is you getting educated so that you can know how to read and write and know how to compete with other people of different ethnicity. And you doing that, you place yourself in a pedestal of success. So I encourage them that they need to see the resilience in their parents because this is what our parents taught us to do. And we came here, we saw, and we conquered.
Okay, that's quite inspiring. And let's now go into your core place, in NBC US at present. You are the chairman of the board of delegates, and one will be wondering, and outsider will say, "What's the role of the board of delegates in an organization of this nature?" What would you tell us?
Thank you so much. Of course, you know that our organization is a non-profit organization and as well as a cultural organization, we say USA. And there are two arms of this organization, the executive arm and the board of delegates. Under normal circumstances, when you go to a macro society, these are the lawmakers. So the lawmakers or the members of board of delegates, their responsibilities are many. And that's why the executive cannot achieve most without actually the cooperation of members of board of delegates. We are here as people who are overseeing the Constitution of NBC USA to make sure that nobody violates the Constitution. We make new rules, new laws to guide the organization we belong to. we are here. How many chapters now? 24 chapters. So these 24 chapters have 5 delegates each from each of the chapters. And we meet 4 times in a year, except if there's need for emergency, then we have emergency meeting. So our duty includes making laws, protecting the constitution, passing laws, and actually helping to monitor what the executives are doing so that they don't exceed their boundaries. So we are also watchdog to not only the constitution, but what is being executed. And when we pass our laws, we pass them over to the executive to execute. That's what we do. And every 2 years, we amend the constitution so that things that are necessary can be added or taken out, depending on what the needs are. So our job is very simple and plain, like I just mentioned, trying to make sure that we watch the constitution, we make sure the constitution is not violated, we make new laws for the organization, we protect the laws we have made, and make sure that there are no excesses. We check excesses in terms of expenditure, in terms of every other thing that happens in the organization. This is exactly what we do as members of the
Okay,
board.
the rules you make, is it exclusive to members of the board of delegates, or are there contributions, maybe law contributions, say from the executive arm, or maybe any other member of MBC USA?
Yes, MBC USA is a chapter-based organization. What that means, without the chapters, there's no MBC USA. So while we have delegates from all the 24 chapters as we are today,
Mhm.
while we have delegates is their duty is to make sure that if there are needs that the organization requires coming from each of the chapters, that's why the delegates will bring it to the meeting, and we look at that. What that means is the laws we make does not only emanate from us, but what chapters think about the organization, how to move the organization forward through their delegates. They bring them and we take decisions, and they take our decisions back to respective chapters. So that's exactly how it works. So which means it's not necessarily us, but it involves the entire 24 chapters who we are representing. We are here just on representation from each of the chapters where we come from.
Okay, looking around, is getting close to 4 years now. You're in the third year or so since your appointment. You were elected as the chairman of the board of delegates. What laws or initiatives do you think under your reign that you've been able to do with your colleagues uh, that you look at and you say, "Look, I'm proud of this."
Okay, thank you. For purpose of disclosure, I was elected last year. This is finishing my first year in office. And that does not mean that I've been part of this administration in the last 4 years as a deputy board chair. So we did a lot, which we carried over to my present regime administration. For instance, through the combination of the effort of the executive and the board,
Mm.
we have certain things we have accomplished. One of them is scholarship we give to our kids. We did that before last year. This year, we are not doing that because we are trying to improve it. Improving it in the sense that formerly it was exclusive for kids from Mbise. But now, because of our status 501c, we want to make it to become for every part of this country. So that's why we are working on now to do what? To improve it, enlarge it, expand it, so that once you hear that there's a scholarship from the USA, somebody from America, somebody from any other part of Africa, Europe, who live in America can benefit from that. So that's one thing, which is what my administration is currently trying to do now, because formerly we had it done by our chapters. Chapters will bring one person each, and they will benefit from the scholarship. But now we're trying to expand that. That is one. Secondly, we have um, women empowerment program. That program has been in existence before. What that program means is because of the hardship in Africa, in Nigeria in particular, where we come from, and then they say women who are widows, women who have nobody to help them, we decided to do what? Extend our hands of assistance by giving them kind of loan without interest. We give them money, about 150,000 for them to use for their trading. And this is what has been in existence. But since I joined, with the help of the women coordinator, Dr. Mrs. Alice Ukebu, there is a new idea of expanding that so that it could reach many more people. I've been in office for maybe close to 9 months, but this is one of the things we have tried to do to improve on what we are doing. Mark it that if a system is not broken, you don't need to fix it. So you can only improve on what has been in existence. So we are now, the women are now contributing $10 so that that program could be expanded and many more women can benefit from that.
Okay.
Another thing that will be in existence all the time is the medical mission. This is the signature of MBC USA. We go to medical mission every year. It's free. Here in the United States, we source for medications, and chapters contribute, people, individuals contribute money so that we can be able to buy a lot of medications and send people home to do what? To give free medical care for our people. Our people are so impoverished that so many people don't even have money to go to the hospital. Therefore, they're all waiting for this medical mission every year. It becomes the annual physical because you come there, you are treated for free. Diagnosis will be done. Things that, people die in Africa without knowing what kills them. They'll tell you malaria or typhoid. But this time around, there is complete diagnosis. And people will find out exactly what is their health concerns. And they are treated. We do surgeries, both eye and other types of surgeries at the medical mission. Now, since I joined this year, we have taken medical mission to a different level. The medical mission that just happened has been one of the best ever, and it was so copious and cumbrous in nature that normally we do 5 locations, but this year we did 7, including the surgical center, and they were all running simultaneously. This side, that side, all the 6 locations, including the surgical center, happening at the same time. So that tells you the magnitude of what we do. And we are privileged to have some of our brothers who have foundations, something like Iman Joko Foundation. There are some other like Menokon Foundation. Some of them partnered with us in order to make sure that this becomes a success, which is a good step in the right direction. Now, another one is the convention. Convention is the major source of income we have in this organization. We have taken convention to a greater height. For instance, I hosted convention in Boston 2017.
I was going
That,
to ask you about the convention, actually,
okay.
as
Yeah.
a very special thing. You've
Okay.
been chairman of that convention, and
Yes.
we had it over the years, and it keeps improving.
Yes.
One will ask, what is so important about the convention that appeals to you, that make a lot of people see it as a rallying point of interaction?
Thank you so much for that question. Like I said before, convention is one of the ways we raise funds for this organization
Mhm.
because this is a non-profit organization. Apart from what this administration has designed to institute to make our organization 501c status, we have started planning to write grants. But in the meantime, whatever projects we have was as a result of what we received from the conventions. So convention is so dear to us because not only that is a way of rallying our people, to come together to think about how to improve the life of our people, is a way also for people to go on vacation once a year because this country is so difficult. People work a lot. So once in a while, they find a place where, a city where they can go and see brothers and sisters, even from outside of America, from Europe, from Asia, from Nigeria. People gather for this convention. And most importantly, is a convention that we raise funds to carry out all these projects we are doing. So convention is so important to us because I don't think without convention that we will be carrying out most of the projects we do. But one thing I want to say is this administration, headed by SOS Agenda, has taken this convention to the next level. And I must have to commend also the people who are behind it because it's always good for you to make sure that people who are helping the system to work, you recognize them. Somebody like SAG Alozie, the current vice president, he has raised more funds than anyone in the NBC USA history. He has done such a good job in fundraising because he is well connected. What about Better Sagomo? He has been the chairman of Convention Planning Committee 3 times. That tells you that this guy knows what he's doing. And each of the conventions he participated in has yielded a lot. What of Ike? Ike Nwabasi. Ike Nwabasi, we don't have such people too in our organization because this is a guy that knows technology to afford in his printing. That even his collection alone, what you don't have, he gets that without even asking you. He has done so well with our convention in terms of whatever it takes. There are so many people that have contributed. The women, Dr. Abonye that just left last year after the last year convention. She has been the leader of the youths for how many years now? I cannot count. She did so well. What about other women that are done a lot, that have done a lot? Look at Mrs. Ali Sukebu. She's doing a great job. Also, look at our team, financial team, Dr. Apole, Dr. Jovitike. Look at our DOS, Ahotu, and so many other people I cannot even remember their names. So, as the chair of the convention last year, it took a lot of sweat for us to be successful, thanks to the president of Northern California.
Okay, time is no longer our friend. We'll
Yeah,
have to be winding down
and
now.
Mike, who was my local convention planning chair. So
Yes,
we all made it
I
together
agree with you.
from the south, the
On a
Atona.
parting note,
Yes,
Mbise is a very special place.
yes,
Mbise has a long history, have people of capacity. But when we look at the development, the level of development, it does not actually, it cannot reconcile both. What is a picture of Mbise? and an MBC person?
My picture of Mbisa as Mbisa person is we need to, as a matter of fact, come together as a group to think about our problems without anybody saying I'm from Abombise, I'm from Ahazumbise, I'm from Ezinitembise. Let us come together as a group and think on how we can help ourselves. Mbise is blessed with a lot of human resources. So, as an Mbise man, I feel that we have the resources, and most importantly, those resources are, if they're well harnessed, we will achieve a lot. For instance, look at now. I didn't even tell you one major accomplishment we have done. You see, since the beginning of Mbise US Airport of Delegates, we have not been doing the normal things the legislators do, bringing out bills, discussing the bills. It started with this administration. Currently, we have a bill now that has gone the first reading and is going for the second reading. I mean, a discussion during the convention. And that particular one is a way of improving our people. And we equally have another one that is in the making. That is the idea that our children are suffering because there's no job. A bill is underway to do what? To bring what we call skills acquisition program, whereby we can give our children handwork to be self-made and begin to find things for themselves instead of roaming
I know
about.
you have a whole lot to talk about.
Yes.
You do have a whole lot to talk about, but time is no longer our friend. I seriously want to appreciate you, for sharing your experience, and a whole lot of people, I believe, have something to take away from this conversation. And
Yeah.
I believe we'll find time again to invite you to look at other dimensions, as it affects growth and development in MBZ. I thank you so much, Dr. Charles
Yeah,
Iwejuo,
thank you.
the chairman of the board of delegates.
Thank you so much.